Representative John Conyers, Jr., under intense pressure to resign amid multiplying allegations that he sexually harassed former employees, announced Tuesday that he would leave Congress immediately, and he endorsed his son John Conyers III to succeed him. Mr. Conyers, 88, the Dean of the House and the longest-serving African-American representative in history, acquiesced to weeks of pressure from fellow Democrats. But by trying to keep his Detroit area seat in the family, he touched off a family feud between his 27-year-old son and his great-nephew Ian Conyers, a state senator from Michigan who also plans to run in a special House election. In a phone interview, Ian Conyers said that his great-uncle encouraged him to run for the seat days before deciding to step down. Now the two younger Conyerses will most likely face off in what may become a battle over the legacy of Mr. Conyers, considered an icon to many black people. I said, "Sir, if you decide that you're going to retire, give me a heads up because I'm going to run for your seat and keep doing the work that you have been up to," Ian Conyers said. He said, "Absolutely. You go for it. Run." Representative Conyers held out for weeks after BuzzFeed News published documents last month that showed that he had settled a sexual harassment case with an employee who said she was fired after refusing his advances. Continue reading the main story. Related coverage. Conyers scandal highlights divisions, generational and gender. November 28, 2017. House leaders call on Conyers to resign after an accuser details her charges. November 30, 2017. Democrats move swiftly against Conyers amid latest harassment charges. November 21, 2017. Recent comments. Brian J. 8 hours ago. These comments all read as if Roy Moore has already won. There are 7 days left before the election. Don't give up on Doug. Patty 8 hours ago. I'm a Democrat who left the Republican Party decades ago because the GOP left me. I say to Representative Conyers, shame on you and hope. Charles E. Owens Jr. 8 hours ago. These guys seem to be fine on the outside, but now looking over the past they aren't the unblemished folks they claimed to be. They should. See all comments. Write a comment. But by Tuesday morning, he had given in. I am retiring today, he told the Mildred Gaddis Show, a local radio program, from a hospital in Michigan. I am in the process of putting together my retirement plans. He continued to deny that he had harassed former employees and said he did not know where those allegations came from. On Tuesday morning, Representative Sheila Jackson Lee, Democrat of Texas, also announced Mr. Conyers' retirement on the House floor, saying Mr. Conyers had informed the House Speaker, Paul D. Ryan, Republican of Wisconsin, and Representative Nancy Pelosi, Democrat of California and the Minority Leader. He also informed Governor Rick Snyder of Michigan. I think the legacy of John Conyers will speak for itself, Ms. Lee said later in an interview. His last words were that he didn't want to be a distraction and that he will continue to fight for jobs, justice and peace. She added that Mr. Conyers' years of working on issues like voting rights and mass incarceration cannot be erased. Mr. Conyers tried to make the same case as he endorsed his son. My legacy can't be compromised or diminished in any way by what we are going through now, he said during the radio interview. This, too, shall pass. My legacy will continue through my children. John Conyers III, who has not held elected office before, was cited on suspicion of speeding in his father's congressional vehicle in 2010, according to the Detroit Free Press. His father reimbursed the Treasury Department more than $5,600 for the commandeering of a government vehicle for personal use. The younger Conyers also released a rap song, Rich Glorious, and describes himself as a partner at Detroit's first minority-run hedge fund. He posted on Twitter on Tuesday evening that he had not concluded whether he would run for his father's seat, and instead said he would come to a decision by the new year. He thanked his father for supporting him, and said he would take time to talk to people in the district about the race. It has been an honor to share his generosity and love with the world, the people of Detroit and the cause of civil rights nationwide, John Conyers III said of his father. It is also an honor that my father endorses me as his successor in his congressional seat. The retiring congressman took his House seat in 1965, the last sitting lawmaker to help enact the Great Society programs conceived by President Lyndon B. Johnson. But Mr. Conyers' exit has been ignominious. He stepped aside as the top Democrat on the Judiciary Committee last month in the face of swirling allegations of sexual impropriety, then watched as one Democrat after another called for his resignation. Mr. Conyers, however, remained protective of his time in Congress. "I am very proud of the fact that I am the Dean of the Congress," he said on Tuesday. He appreciated the incredible, undiminished support that he had received from his state and the country, he added. He also did not waver from his stance that he did nothing wrong and called the accusations against him false. "Whatever they are not accurate," he said. "They are not true. I cannot explain where they came from." Mr. Conyers said the allegations were just part of life as a lawmaker. "This goes with the issue of politics, the game of politics which we are in," he said. "We take what happens. We deal with it. We pass on and move on forward as we keep going, trying to make as much as we can of this tremendous opportunity that has been given to me for so long." Mr. Ryan and Ms. Pelosi had each said Mr. Conyers should resign after a woman who settled a sexual harassment claim against him said on television that he had violated her body, repeatedly propositioned her for sex and asked her to touch his genitals. Other former staff members have since come forward to say he harassed them or behaved inappropriately. Ms. Pelosi, in a statement on Tuesday, greeted Mr. Conyers' announcement unsentimentally. Congressman Conyers has served in the Congress for more than 5 decades and shaped some of the most consequential legislation of the last half-century, she said. But no matter how great the legacy, it is no license to harass or discriminate. The brave women who came forward were owed the justice of this announcement. Ian Conyers said that despite the accusations, he believed that Michigan voters would reward his family's work in politics by electing him. "His great-uncle still enjoys healthy support in our district," he said. He added, "People are ready to support our dean and to support our family as we continue to fight, as we have for leading up to a century, for people from Southeast Michigan." The decision by Representative John Conyers Jr. came as several other lawmakers face allegations of inappropriate behavior. Representative Joe Barton, Republican of Texas and the most senior House member for his state delegation, announced last week in an interview with the Dallas Morning News that he would not seek re-election after sexually suggestive online messages that he sent to a constituent came to light. Representative Blake Farenthold, Republican of Texas, is facing pressure after it was revealed last week that he used $84,000 in taxpayer funds to settle a sexual harassment claim with Lauren Green, his former communications director. She accused him of regularly making comments to gauge her interest in a sexual relationship, including saying he was having sexual fantasies about her. And last week, an Ohio Army veteran became the 5th woman to accuse Senator Al Franken, Democrat of Minnesota, of inappropriate touching. Senior House Democrats have also begun calling for Mr. Franken to resign. 291. Comments. Representative James E. Clyburn, Democrat of South Carolina and a member of the House leadership, hinted at a double standard in the intense pressure Mr. Conyers faced. "I'm a little bit interested, though, in why the Speaker of the House called for his resignation and had been radio silent on Blake Farenthold," he said. His settlement was 3 times what Conyers' was. He's accused of the same thing. And the Speaker has not said a word. What is the difference?